The man stuck his fingers into his arm. The blood that flowed out turned into a chainsaw on one side and into saw blades on the other side. Turns out this is an ability every demon possesses, but the objects they manifest are different. Since the main character loved playing with guns since childhood, his demon blood could take the shape of various firearms. The power they fired was just like real ones, even stronger at times. This ability was unheard of among demons, but not long ago, he knew nothing about it. When he first entered Demon Academy, he hadn't learned to use demon blood. The instructor made them play a game of demon tag. If you got caught, you'd be expelled on the spot, but if you reached the finish line within an hour, you passed. The catch was you had to carry the ball he assigned, and there were only 2 balls, so the 7 of them were divided into 3 groups. Pink Hair, the main character, and Saki-chan were the first group, which meant one of them would be eliminated. The other 4 were split into pairs, fighting for the remaining 2 balls. Once the game began for each group, the instructor would wait 15 minutes before entering. At that moment, Pink Hair suddenly spoke to the main character. She wanted to team up with him. For the main character, this was a chance falling into his lap. He agreed without hesitation. Since childhood, he had no luck with girls. How could he refuse such a cute girl? Besides, he was already annoyed by Saki-shun's cold attitude. But to their partnership, Saki-shun showed only disdain. He told the main character not to bring trouble on himself. The instructor grew impatient, so he made the first group start immediately. Saki-shun bolted ahead. The main character chased right after him, leaving Pink Hair standing alone. Meanwhile, though Saki-shun was in the lead, his goal wasn't just to reach the finish line. He wanted to kill the instructor during the game, because before it started, the instructor said he wouldn't use demon blood. If anyone killed him, they would graduate immediately and join the military unit they wanted. That was very tempting. He had someone he desperately wanted to meet. But just then, the main character suddenly attacked him because he wanted a one-on-one fight. Saki-shun didn't waste words. With so few balls available, he decided to eliminate the main character first. He suddenly slit his arm with a finger. Blood gathered on his arm and formed saw blades. That was his demon blood ability. The sight left the main character stunned. He never expected Saki-shun could freely control demon blood. After all, they hadn't been taught how to use it yet. But Saki-shun didn't bother to explain. The battle erupted instantly. One could use demon blood, the other couldn't. The outcome was obvious. It was very disadvantageous for the main character. One hit and he would bleed heavily, while hitting the other guy only caused minor wounds. But soon he realized he was overthinking it. Even without demon blood, he wasn't Saki-shun's match. The guy's strength was overwhelming, and demon blood made him nearly unbeatable. Luckily, at the critical moment, the male protagonist saved Pink Hair. She was about to thank him, but the sight of his blood reminded her of unpleasant memories. She realized it was because of her that he got hurt, and panicked, repeatedly apologizing. The male protagonist was about to say it was fine, but he did not expect Pink Hair's condition to be unusual. Soon, in front of him, a giant formed from condensed blood appeared. This was Pink Hair's blood ability. Unlike Chizuen, she could not control it freely. It only forced the two to escape quickly, or her sister would kill them. Meanwhile, the homeroom teacher calmly watched everything. He had already arrived nearby, but did not act immediately. His purpose was not to play demon tag, but to train the students in his own way. Expulsion was only meant to pressure them. The ability to manipulate blood and change its shape also had another name: blood corrosion liberation. Its principle is to transmit the object imagined in the mind, and also transmit it to the blood vessels. Some people manifest psychological trauma, some manifest hobbies, and some manifest experience. This means that through the manifested objects, one can glimpse the user's life. At the same time, the situation on the field was not very good. It was useless that the male protagonist could not use his ability. Although Chizuen could use it freely, his attack range was too small. The giant's body was simply too large. Even if he hit the opponent, it would not cause much damage. Conversely, if he was hit once, even if he didn't die, he would be crippled. It was very similar to the male protagonist's previous situation. At this point, the male protagonist felt powerless. He also wanted to try turning his blood into weapons, but no matter how he tried, nothing appeared. Only the homeroom teacher knew why. Previously, the male protagonist's success was all by chance, and a risky move that might succeed once in 100 attempts. But what surprised him even more was that even though nothing had been taught, by observing Chizuen's fight, the male protagonist suddenly had a flash of insight. From earlier, he noticed that Chizuen manifested cutting tools, while Pink Hair's manifestation seemed to be her sister. By combining these common points, the male protagonist had an epiphany. That was why the weapons he manifested before were guns, because he had been interested in guns since childhood. After speculating about his own ability, the battle reached a critical moment. Chizuen ultimately could not defeat the giant, suffering serious injuries first. Today, his use of blood exceeded his limit. Seeing that he had reached the limit, just as the homeroom teacher was about to act, the male protagonist completed blood corrosion liberation. He had independently mastered the use of blood. This was unexpected by everyone. Seeing this, the homeroom teacher chose not to act. Instead, he watched to see how the male protagonist would deal with the giant.